It is 9/15/2025. Level Up College Football Podcast in the building. Sitting back with my co-host, my girl Sarah C. We talking about college football the old school way, the old-fashioned way, just telling the truth the way that we need to tell the truth concerning college football and what we do on the Level Up College Football Podcast. Hey, listen, big announcement. Happy to announce it. The KnoItAllz channel has officially reached 1K subs on YouTube. We could have not done any of that without you guys looking out for us, sharing with your friend, and we appreciate it. So continue to share with a friend, to a friend, concerning the Level Up College Football Podcast, the KnoItAllz podcast, wherever you get your audio podcast, Spotify, Apple, and or Google. Make sure you keep rocking with us because now we made it to 1K, ladies and gentlemen. We can do some strange stuff. We can super chat. You can do all the stuff we need to do. We just wait for the approval over on YouTube. So super chat should be wide open here in a minute. You'll be able to respond, get your comments up. We do it anyway, but we know that some of you guys have rocked with us from the very, very beginning. So now that we're here, let's do what we do on the Level Up College Football Podcast. Sarah, what's cracking, girl? What's going on with you?
Oh, nothing much. It was a really, really great Saturday of football. I kind of love the fact that you guys thought you convinced me, but I was rooting for Tech that whole game, and I was so happy to see how that ended.
Yeah. I said it in my chat. I said, Sarah kicked, she kicked some ass, because she went 5-0 this week with the picks. I go 4-1. Now me and Sarah is like almost neck and neck. I think Sarah's got 3 losses. No, I got 3 losses. Sarah's got 3 losses. So we're even.
Yeah.
We're even. It's 3-3. And listen, if you want to get and know who to pick concerning college football and how you're going to sign your inside information, you might as well come over here and holler at the Level Up College Football Podcast. Because I'm telling you, we know. It's not that we're out there picking luck and doing all whatever else. We actually do research to bring you the information concerning college football. Because it's a passion of mine, and I know it's a passion for my girl, Sarah C. Sarah, listen, before we start the show off, right off the freaking back, diabolicalness went down this week in college football. In your mind, who was the big-time winner of week 3 of college football?
Ooh. I had a couple. I want to say probably one of my 2 biggest ones, though, was Vanderbilt. I think that, they're actually saying the talk and actually living up to it right now. Mm-hmm. I think that Gunnar Stockton looked a whole heck of a lot better, and he's starting to really get his feet, underneath him. I think that was a really, really good win for Georgia. I don't think it was as bad of a loss for Tennessee, though. But I think Georgia definitely had that. And then since I said I picked Tech for that win, I think Haynes King is just awesome, and I love watching him. And I know he's not probably going to end up being an NFL quarterback, but he is probably one of my favorite college quarterbacks to watch right now.
Sarah, I ain't gonna lie to you. If the season ended today, Haynes King is the Heisman Trophy winner. I mean, let's just be honest and talk about and state facts with facts. If the season ends today, Haynes King wins the freaking Heisman Trophy. He's out there playing that good for the Georgia Tech. And Sarah, that's my big winner. My big winner this week. Down goes Clemson. Down goes Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers. We are what you thought you was, which means you're big trash. And you're out of here. No college football playoff for you this year. You can kiss the baby. It's adios, muchachos. So I got Georgia Tech being a big winner. But I like the ones you said because, look, Diego Pava, the quarterback at Vanderbilt, the little fella is balling. He's playing big-time football,
and he backs up his words every single time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was talking that yak.
Yeah.
he sure proved it. So, Sarah, on the flip side, who's the big losers of week 3 in college football?
I want to probably go with the 2 0-2 teams. I mean, I know Notre Dame somehow sneaked in and still got ranked this week, but Dabo, and Clemson and Notre Dame both big time. It was a bad week. And you know what? I didn't put them in my winners, but A&M, they normally would lose that game. The fact that they were able to pull off this win, that was great. And I don't know how Notre Dame's going to pull this off. I know they have a pretty easy schedule for the rest of the year, but I'm done.
Sarah, they all hype. You know as well as I do, they're all freaking hype. Notre Dame, get them out of here. Join a conference. If you want to guarantee that you make a playoff, get in a freaking conference, Notre Dame. You're 0-2. You're 0-2. So get out of here.
Calling. What is going on? How is Love not even getting the ball as much as he should? Like, I'm just disturbed by that.
Sarah, I'm glad you brought that up because you know that's Marcus Freeman over there. Puckered up like this. Can't even like he's puckered up over there, man. So get him out of here, Marcus Freeman. Listen, let him play football. Let him play football. Hey, listen, I got to give a shout out to everybody in the live chat for sure. But I want to bring up this first question from Craig Withrow. Craig, you're right, man. The class of 2026 is looking diabolical, right? Listen, with the guys we thought, Kay Klubnik, Drew Aller, Lenora Sellers, Nussmeier. Sarah, how does LSU score 20 points? 7 of those points was a defensive touchdown. They only get 13 points, and Florida's quarterback threw 5 picks. Is LSU what we think they are?
I think they're going to find it. I just think it's great that their defense is winning their games right now, so they can go into that, SEC gauntlet and put some of these quarterbacks on the ground. So I'm actually more impressed with that than anything. Mm-hmm. But Brian Kelly's his biggest enemy. I mean, he's still, got a little purple this week. Not fully yet, but he's getting there.
Total facts, Sarah. All right, so listen, what's up, Craig? What's up, Afton, man? Great to see you in the building. Big punishment, man. You out there, man. I see you, bro. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for the 1K thing. Pickens, you big dummy. What's crack-a-lacking? My boy Tay Boy Fresh in the building, man. This is diabolical. You know what? I can't put my co-host in the matrix, but I swear to God I want to. Right? So he said, Sarah, don't let Big G keep the pick books. You'll lose every time. No, Sarah keeps them just like I do. We know what we're doing. And you over there, how I'm doing in the college football, in the NFL picks right now, Tate. Leader of the pack after week 2. That's all I'm saying. So I can't put him in the matrix, but that's diabolical, man. So Sarah, after we designated the winners. We talked about the losers. We talked about who really is doing what they need to do in college football early on for the season, right? What was your belt to ass moment of week 3 of 2025? I'm talking about somebody that you just knew that they had an opportunity to stay close and they got literally freight trained. What was your BTA moment for college football week 3?
Oh boy. I think you might have to go back to probably that Tennessee game because in the end, like I said, it's like the A&M Notre Dame, it's the Tennessee Georgia game. Tennessee always loses that game. Usually A&M always loses that game and they won it. Mm-hmm. Tennessee, I think, looks better this year, but I still think that defense needs to get their, legs under them or something. Mm-hmm. And I think Georgia is just looking at them and like, you're still the babies of the SEC. So that's kind of where I'm at. Beyond that, the biggest upset, their biggest wins, though, were the closest wins. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of hard to be like, okay, well, Bama blew out Wisconsin, but we all kind of knew that was going to happen. So it's kind of...
Sarah, they pulled out the whooping stick and whooped that ass. Yeah. Bama did do that.
And if you want to look at it, go with Florida. I'm just so sad because I really, really all of us were huge on Lagway. But like I said, I still think it's coaching. I think there's a discipline problem just in that whole thing. And I don't know for sure if he is healthy. Like his balls were not accurate. Like, I don't know what's going on in him right now. So if you really want to go as the person, biggest loser is him right now. And that's, I'm sad to say it, but if you're going to pick a person, he probably is. Yeah.
Hey, Sarah, I'm going to tell you, we talked about it a little bit when we talked about the winners and the losers. But my biggest belt to ass this week was Vanderbilt beat the living hell out of South Carolina. And they beat them up. They didn't just beat the hell out of they knocked Lenore Sellers out of the game early.
That's the thing.
And that was straight up intentional. I don't care. Listen, I love college football. I love college sports. But that was an intentional, we're knocking you out of the game to make sure that we get a chance to win. But what happened was how much they fell apart after. Like the score was 14-7 when they knocked him out of it was 14-7 when they knocked him out of the game.
Score again.
They freight trained him from that point. The final score was 31-7. That is flat out belt to ass. Like you shouldn't even be on the same field with us. And Sarah, we're talking about Vanderbilt.
I know.
That's like Northwestern. That's like talking about Northwestern belt to ass somebody. I mean, this is ridiculous. The college football season in 2025 is unbelievable, Sarah. I think great. A lot of programs have leveled up their programs. I think we're where we need to be. And Sarah, some of the squads that we picked, or at least that I picked, and I know you picked a couple of them too, they look trash. Like I don't see nobody.
South Carolina.
I don't see nobody. Yeah. I mean, they're not what we thought they were, Sarah. A lot of them were not what they thought they were. All right, so this is the most diabolical point, and what I mean by people leveling up. And if you're here watching the Level Up College Football Podcast, we appreciate you rocking with us. But Sarah, teams and organizations and agencies, because you got NIL money floating around everywhere, ain't putting up with the BS no more, man. Sarah, we saw multiple coaches get canned after week 3 in college football. I've never seen anything like this before. I've never in my life seen 3 weeks in, and I'm not talking about the little scrub San Jose States or the UTSAs I'm talking about dog programs that have traditionally played in college football national championship games, had multiple NFL players going. Sarah, what the hell is going on in college football? These guys getting fired already.
I don't know, but UCLA is just joined the Big Ten a little too early, and I just don't think that they are ready for it. I don't think they have the money yet. Like they just are like, these little kids that are trying to feed for something, and they need to wipe it all out. Like they need to start from anew next year. They really need to figure themselves out, because if they're going to start like this in the first 2 years of Big Ten, they're never going to be contenders in that. Virginia Tech, I don't know. I haven't really seen them really pull out a good season in a while. I know that they live off of their, energy of the crowd and everything like that, and they're old school, like always winning. But like these are two programs that are storied, but they haven't been storied for decades now. So you know what? Fire these coaches. Get some of these, like get a businessman probably running your team, because you need to start getting some of this NIL money, because you have people in your conferences that are bringing in the money, and they're bringing in the talent, and they're keeping that talent. And that's the other thing, because if they would have stayed with Aguilar and not taken Iamaleava, what would be happening right now this year? I'd be very intrigued, because that kid looks pretty damn good in orange.
Yeah. I mean, the two, like what Sarah's stating, is UCLA and Tennessee quarterbacks flipped. Right, the Tennessee quarterback looks like the real deal, and Nico looks like super trash. And Sarah, he lost money. He lost almost $1 million in NIL revenue, and looks horrible. What the hell is going on? I mean, this is diabolical. I just don't understand what's happening in college football right now, and maybe it's just a new era, and I don't know. But man, come on. My point. That is total fact, Sarah. Are we looking at the change of the whole landscape of college football to really be the farm system, the true farm system for the NFL? Do you think that's fact, Sarah?
I think it's going to be there sooner rather than later, truly.
Yeah. Sarah, I'll say this. With the changes of the college football playoff, and so I want to put this out there too, to give you guys big facts, because like I said, me and Sarah, we follow college football, right? December 1st, 2025, the committee is going to meet together to decide what the new platform is for the playoff moving forward. We know it's 12 team. We know they want to go to 14. But Sarah, I'm hearing right now that they're trying to push it up. They want to go more than 14 teams. They're talking about going 16, possibly 18 teams for the playoff moving forward. So if that's the case, now they supersede the NFL. The NFL's got 14 teams, right? If they go 16, they're trying to sell the NFL. You don't have enough playoff games. You don't have enough to where people's going to be drawn in. And Sarah, if they do that, guess whose playoffs roll over the top of each other now? The college football playoff runs right over the top of the NFL playoff. So I don't know, Sarah, but it's starting to get like, listen, baby NFL on deck. Your thoughts, man. Your thinking on that.
I mean, I agree. I think that if this is going to end up being 16 teams, so you really need to figure out what you're going to do with these home playoff games, with these bids and everything like that, because the crowd, the fans are going to start getting real vocal, and then they might turn on. So like they need to make sure that they don't overdo it, because the football fans are pretty vocal about how they feel about certain things. I mean, look at the NFL with just them putting commercials on Red Zone. I haven't heard so many people complain about 1 minute of commercials in my entire life.
Freaking facts.
So if that's that littlest thing is an issue, and the way that they're trying to, like, the Big Ten and the SEC, they want all these automatic bids and everything like that, you can't do that. I mean, the talent is super deep right now, and if I'm going to see 16 teams, I want to see the 16 best teams, and that does not mean that it should be 5 teams from 2 different conferences and then the rest just kind of sprinkled in. So figure it out. Take your time. That's how I feel.
Sarah, I'm with you. I'm with you 150 on that one. Hey, so Craig asked a question. He said, Big G, what do you think what Pitt needs to do, not Pittsburgh, Pitt, you needs to do to get back in the national stage? Because the way they lost to West Virginia made me sick. I go all the way back to the Marino played at Pitt. That's the issue, and that's the problem.
That is. What
you have to do at the University of Pittsburgh is you have to bring in a coach, because Narduzzi ain't going to get it. You got to bring in a big-time, high-profile coach. And to be honest, Pitt, you might got to switch conferences. You might got to go and bow down and say, Big Ten, please take us, because that's the only way. The issue is, from a college football standpoint, the Big Ten went coast to coast. They went and got Rutgers. That's killing your recruiting. They went and got Penn State University. That's killing your recruiting.
Western
so
PA
that's
not
correct.
Staying in Pitt.
That's correct. They went and got Maryland. So all the little schools that's right there, the Pittsburgh, the little areas Pittsburgh used to recruit heavy off of, all of those teams is in the Big Ten. I'm not going to Pitt because I can't play in the Big Ten, and I'm not going to see myself on TV. So Pitt, you might have to humble yourselves. Go get you a big-time coach, because I'm going to tell you, that's what Syracuse did. Syracuse went and got him a big-time coach. And because I think Syracuse is going to be adios muchachos in a minute. And they're going to go tell the Big Ten, hey, listen, please take us. Please give us an opportunity. So I get it. I love the Black River Brawl too. I love it. West Virginia versus Pitt is a big-time thing, man. Love it, man. Big punishment, you're right. Carson Beck is out there improving his draft stock. Carson Beck might move from a 3rd or 4th round pick to the 2nd or the 1st round, but if he continues to play the way he's playing for the Miami Hurricanes, because he looked outstanding. Sarah, he looked outstanding. Flat out outstanding. Yeah. Flat out outstanding, man, for the Miami Hurricanes. But it's a long season.
It is.
Florida State is a good team in the ACC. We know Georgia Tech is a good team in the ACC. So we got to see. We got to see what's going on. What's up, Gavin, man? He said those 2 schools really hate each other. Yeah, they do.
Oh, they do.
The backyard brawl is ridiculous. There's a lot of hate that goes on. It's not as diabolical as Michigan versus Ohio State, but it's up there. It's up there, man. After what you said, girl, yeah, he'll need to look outstanding through adversity, but that's okay. If you join a big-time conference, case in point, Vanderbilt. They had to suffer through some years. They upgraded their facility. They dropped $300 million in stadium and revenue. They have a big-time NIL collective. And Vanderbilt, was the smart school in the SEC. And they got all these people that's got these high-profile jobs that's putting themselves in position to do something. And now look what they're putting out on the field. That's all it takes is a big-time coach, a couple of recruits here and there, and get a couple of wins. Sarah, ain't that what you're saying?
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what I'm saying, because that's really the only way you're going to survive. And that's why I'm saying about UCLA, like they need the Vandy playbook, like how they built that program. Because truly, 2 years ago, Saban was saying, they're like, SEC, it's the hardest, conference in the world, but you always knew you had to win. Well, now you don't. Like it's real. It's the truth. Like it's you want to be excited about every single week when you're playing against a conference opponent, And some of them are doing it and some of them are not. And then you don't want to be that easy win. You want to be the competitor. And if you're not, you're gonna have your coach fired after 3 weeks.
Yeah. And really be honest here, the SEC right now, hell, the teams that we could traditionally call the bottom feeders out there balling. Mississippi State beat the living hell out of Arizona State. Vanderbilt popped South Carolina. I mean, what are you talking about? There's nobody in there that looks like, except for the Florida Gators. They look like a bum. Everybody, Missouri's playing, Texas A&M's playing. I mean, then listen, Auburn's 3-0, killing people. And they're going to be on the preview here in a minute about the games. We talk about this next week, so for sure. Craig, do you think that the ACC will survive? Sarah, I'm going to ask you first. You think?
I mean, they're all going to survive until these media contracts are up. And I mean, all these media contracts are signed for like 10, 15 years. So somehow they're going to survive for a little bit. But I don't know. I mean, I hope they do because I like having more than two big ones. Like I like having the other ones, but it's hard to say. I think they're the weakest. I know Big 12 was always thought to be the weakest, but I think the ACC is turning into that. Because I think FSU and Miami can only carry you so long, and then they're going to find other ways to move on. So figure it out, but you got time. I mean, like I said, these contracts don't end until like 2035 or whatever. And
I think Notre Dame, I'm just going to say this. Notre Dame has to join the conference, but they don't. Because the deal with Notre Dame is like when they made it to the national championship game, they didn't have to share their revenue with anybody.
Yeah.
All the money they made for making the national championship game went directly in their pocket. To where if they were in a conference, it's revenue share. But the downplay of that is you can't do what they just started out doing. You can't lose 2 games because you're not going to the freaking playoff. There's nobody else left on their schedule. They better hope and pray USC is undefeated by the time they play them. That's the only way back in. USC, they better hope and pray. NC State, who God knows that's a Jekyll and Hyde team. There's nobody else left because Notre Dame refuses to play who they need to play. And Sarah, I'm going to be honest. I think Notre Dame can save the ACC. If Notre Dame officially jumps into the ACC and joins that conference, yeah, they can save them. They can say because now the national eyes on them, and now Clemson's not going to want to jump out. Florida State's not going to want to jump out. Miami's not going to want to jump out because we got Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they should do, Sarah. Your thoughts on that?
No, I agree. I think that you're right on the money on that one. I think that would be their best decision and probably the smartest decision for the conference to do that. So they better start recruiting them. But I mean, Notre Dame is a hard sell.
Yeah, I think Marcus Freeman is just a matter of time. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Pick as you big dummy. Where does Matter take the Sooners this season? To be honest, if they beat Texas, all bets are on. I'm just being honest. If they beat Texas, all bets are on. But I got to see them beat Texas.
Yeah.
They have to. If they can beat Texas, it's on because now they show that they can hang with the Georgias, they can hang with the LSUs, they can hang with some of the Tennessees, they can hang with the Bamas, they can hang. So, but they gotta beat Texas. If they can't beat Texas, then he doesn't take them anywhere. He doesn't do. They're 7-5 at best if he can't beat Texas because they have a hell of a schedule. Oklahoma, matter of fact, I think has the hardest schedule in the SEC. If I'm not mistaken, they play a hell of a teams. They got to run. So, I don't know. I just think that they have to beat Texas. And I know why he's asking that because the rumor floated out today that the Pittsburgh Steelers are scouting their quarterback really hard and talking about that they're going to try to take him in the second round of the draft. I get why the Steelers fans are saying this because it was floated out there today. No, y'all, no. Let's focus on college football and let these kids get out of school first, and then we'll start evaluating them for the next level, man. Big Pun said, what? Notre Dame runs the table. Punishment. You know what, man? I'm telling you, Sarah, it's been like 2 weeks in a row. You normally don't run people around the bend, send them to the rubber room. But Pun, bye-bye, dog.
Crazy, man. You right.
I am crazy. Pun, there's no way in hell a 10-2 Notre Dame team makes the playoff with the rate that these. You realize that there's 39 teams that's still undefeated in the Power 4 or 5 conferences. You realize like that the committee will mess around and take. Let me just say it like this, Sarah. That way he understands it. In the current top 25 right now today, 11 of the top 25 are SEC teams. Today, in the current top 25, 7 of the top 25 are Big Ten teams. That's 18 of the top 25 teams. I ain't said nothing about no Florida State, no Georgia Tech, no Miami. Come on, dog. No, they're not going to put a 10-2 Notre Dame team in because a lot of these teams are going to end up 10-1. 11-1. Yeah. You might have 1 or 2 undefeateds in the regular season. I'm not saying through the playoffs. So hell no, a 10-2 don't make it. Your thoughts, Sarah?
I want to say you're right, and I would feel like you're right, but like I said, they're sneaky, and somehow they always get in because they're always part of the conversation. And if they start winning really big, then they're going to start saying that, it was just a fluke, and they were getting their feet under them, and CJ Carr's getting better, and so on and so forth, because they can always explain themselves out of a situation. And I think that the USC game is probably going to be the game that's pretty much going to kind of solidify it. And, we'll see what USC can do coming up in the next couple weeks and see if that game ends up being a game. But if they lose that game, and I know that everyone's saying a 3-loss team can make it and so on and so forth, and they can, but it's all about who those losses are to. And I know Notre Dame's losses have been close. But they're not winning those games, and usually they're the ones winning those games. So. Yeah,
and Tim Lyons is our residential Notre Dame Fighting Irish. He said stick a fork in it.
I know he's not looking too happy with them.
It's over with. That's what he's saying. It's flat out over with, right? And Pun, I want to challenge you on something else too. Oklahoma got the tough schedule. Oklahoma plays this year Michigan Wolverines, Auburn, Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, and LSU. After this week with the Oklahoma Sooners, after Kent State is the only team left that they don't play that's not ranked. The rest of the freaking way. Auburn, Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Bama, Missouri, and LSU. That's diabolical. If they pop Texas, that's why I said, Sarah, that they might. That's the cursor. But no, hell no. The toughest schedule is in Norman. All right. So Sarah, look, we got to take a break. We got to pause for the calls. We got to pay some bills. Wherever you get your audio podcast, make sure you check out the Level Up College Football Podcast with me and my girl Sarah C. If you're watching this live on video, just give us a second, pay some bills. And once again, we want to thank all of you guys for helping the KnoItAllz channel reach 1K subs. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. And we're back with the Level Up College Football Podcast. Big G sitting with his girl Sarah C, talking college sports, talking college football. Got some diabolical comments over there on the side. I done already had to insert a dude into the rubber room. Hopefully not today. Sarah will get one of the people that watches and not go to the Matrix, because I really don't feel like putting nobody in the Matrix today. I'm having a good day and a good time. So, but it could always go down. So what's up, Sarah? What's up with you, girl? What's happening?
Not much. I'm just loving football right now and, getting used to a lot of other new things in the world. So just football makes me smile, and that's what I love. So Sarah, having Saturdays and Sundays to watch that makes me super happy.
Yeah. Hey, Sarah, can I tell it? Well, just let me say this. Congratulations on your new employment, man. I didn't get a chance to tell you that on air, man. Thank God you got the job that you like. You aspiring. It's a new thing, but it's doing what you need to do, and you like it. Finally, Sarah, after all these years, finally, I got a job I love, and I like getting up and going to work every day. So yeah, congratulations for sure, man. All right, Sarah, we reached the preview point. All right, now I want to preface this, and I'm just going to be honest. Not every week. Oh my God, the diabolical one has entered the building. Claude Bishop, what's cracking lacking with you? And right off the bat, Claude says, Sarah C, you got to be smarter than your co-host. Claude, Claude, I was trying my best not to do it today, Claude. I got some Matrix inserts coming up later on, man. But Claude, bye-bye. But oh, well, you got gold and you got gold. Right off the back, Sarah, being diabolical as ever. Diabolical as ever, man. It's unbelievable. Hey, Pun, I feel you about the Gators' opponents. They do, but Oklahoma's ridiculous. You got to add Michigan to Florida, so Claude said, that's facts, G. I feel you, but you ain't right, Claude. What's facts is you went to the Matrix. Quick, fast, in a hurry. All right, Sarah, week 4's games. Like I said, now the preference is this. We have some good games this week. We had some great games last week. We have some good games this week. Next week starts Separation Saturdays.
Yep.
Starting next week. So we got some precursors to Separation Saturday. Tim Lyon said, lawsuit coming in for that unauthorized photo of me. Hey, listen, you got to talk to my co-host, man. And I'm quite sure as many programs you've been on with us with Tim, nah. We own that intellectual property, bro. We own that one. As many shows you done been live with us, nah. Sorry for your trouble, bro. But anyway, week 4, good games, precursor to Separation Saturdays, because I think 3 weeks in a row, there's Separation Saturdays. So let's start right off the bat. I think it's going to be a good game and actually might be the winner of the Big 12. Texas Tech versus Utah. And Sarah, Utah done found a freaking quarterback.
I know.
Listen, I'm like, man, what in the hell is this? Utah has a quarterback, but Sarah, Texas Tech paid about $300 million. I'm flaming the number big time, but they paid an astronomical amount of money for a roster. So it's 2 ranked opponents. Preview for a Big 12, maybe championship game. Your thoughts on Utah and Texas Tech?
Well, I'm really glad that this somehow, some way, this is a noon game. So I'm actually going to be able to stay up and watch the whole thing and not be like, oh God, it's already 12:30 at night. I need to go to bed. Utah's keeping me up too late. It's not as exciting anymore. So that's one thing. I'm just super happy that they were able to schedule it that way. But I think both of these quarterbacks are, so far their stats are looking really good. I love the fact that Utah has this guy. He has no turnovers, 74% completion rate, 6 yards per carry whenever he's running the ball. Yeah. But this Texas Tech team, even yes, they got this quarterback. He seems to be doing really well. It's the stats about this defense that I found really interesting. And I'm really excited to see where all this money went in this defense. But they have not allowed any points for non-garbage time. Yeah. So when they're hitting, massive lead, that's whenever they're starting to pull and put in other players and stuff like that. But they have not allowed any real points unless it's in garbage time. So I'm really intrigued to see what they can do against this Utah offense, and the Utah defense is even doing some pretty good stuff. So I'm really intrigued to see this. I think it's a very evenly matched game. So I truly think that if they both play really well, yes, I would definitely say that this is probably going to end up being the Big 12 championship, because a lot of these other teams that we all thought were going to be great in the Big 12 are looking like straight garbage right now. So yeah, it's a dumpster fire over there right now in the Big 12. It really is. But Sarah, I'm going to say this, and I'm being straight up. These people talking about you can't pay for a team, I think you got to hit the quality. I think Indiana showed Texas Tech the blueprint of how to get it done. They bring in 8 new starters for Texas Tech that they bought off the streets, that they got off the portal everywhere. But Utah, the culture of Utah has been great for at least 12 to 15 years, right? And they don't turn on their culture. But this is the first time I've seen Utah with a legitimate vertical passing game. They can get vertical on you quick. I mean, it can get nasty.
because their wide receivers, although they got one kid that's big in stature, but the rest of these kids are like freaking little Speedy Gonzalez's. They're out there getting it done, so I like Texas Tech, and traditionally they're the team that runs up and down the field, scores all kind of points, but you hit the nail on the coffin. Texas Tech plays defense.
Yeah.
And Utah looks more like Texas Tech than Texas Tech looks like Texas Tech. So I'm gonna ask you, Sarah, because we keep score over here. It counts. Who you picking for Utah versus Texas Tech?
I'm kind of going with my heart a little bit on this one because I just really, really like Utah. I think I like their coach. Like I said, I do. Your culture is great. I think that it's really awesome to see that they are kind of changing it up a little bit, and they both are really on both sides of the ball. So I really want to see them win. I think it's going to be a close game. Like I said, I think that they are probably one of the most evenly matched games that we are going to have in two ranked teams this week. So I'm going to say probably Utah wins, but I think that they are going to probably win by maybe a field goal, if not possibly a touchdown.
Yeah. Sarah, I like that pick. I think Texas Tech is a really good football team, and I think they got really good defense, but they're playing in Utah. Playing in Provo matters. The altitude affects teams a little bit different. So I'm going to take Utah. I think Utah wins this game 31-28. And I think a late score gives Utah the win. But I will say, and I'm just going to be honest, I'm not hedging my bets. I'm just saying that if Texas Tech can slow them down just a little bit, Texas Tech will walk out of Utah with a win. They'll walk out of there with a win. So, like I said, I think it's the preview, maybe the preview of the Big 12 championship game. All right, Sarah, next game. And punishment, this is what I was talking about. Auburn versus Oklahoma. This is a real deal football game, man. The Auburn Tigers are for real. Jackson, the quarterback? Come on, dog. Come on. They ain't had no quarterback in Auburn in years. I'm talking about Cam Newton.
Yeah.
They ain't had a quarterback. They got a quarterback. And they got some running backs. So listen, they play that zone read scheme, but they'll hit you too. They'll hit you with a seam route. They hit you with a deep route. They will score a whole bunch of points fast. And we saw what Oklahoma did. We saw Oklahoma literally physically dominate the Michigan Wolverines. It wasn't even close. They beat Michigan up. So this is one of them new breed, old school, new breed SEC, but old school battles. Because back in the day, Sarah, Oklahoma and Auburn was balling. What you like this week between Oklahoma and Auburn?
Well, first of all, the game is in Norman, so that's going to play a big, big part of this. Personally, this is how these games go with these big teams and these big fan bases. You go into these fan bases that just live and die by their teams. They are going to be so loud, and they are going to be so even worse because of the fact that Jackson Arnold is coming back, and he looked so bad for them last year. They had so much hope whenever he came last year, and they were really they were thinking they were going to be competitive last year, and they were not. I think that he's in a better situation, and yes, definitely I think the running back looks really, really good, but I really like Oklahoma. I like them too. I love that defense. Again, there's another defense out there that is just not letting these teams score on them. And yes, Auburn's probably the first offense that they're going to see that has a little bit more oomph. I mean, Michigan is going to be good, but this kid was going into his, first away game in a place like Norman.
Yeah.
But they've only allowed 19 points in 3 games. And I guess 2 of them were against not, solid or, they were against FCS teams, but, they also did that to Michigan. And I think Michigan has a lot of talent still there. So I think that Auburn's going to really play a good game. I think it's going to be competitive till it's not. And I think Oklahoma is going to really, really say that, hey, guess what? We are for real this year. Mateer is out to prove that, he got taken from Washington State and he's going to pull. I really think that whoever is putting these quarterbacks in Washington State and having them play for a year and then going to these big teams and just balling out. Like he's going to be on an NFL team next year.
Ooh.
I don't care if it is us. I don't care who it is, but I really, really like him. I think that he is just very, very smart. He knows when he can throw and when he can go through that offensive line and get some of those yardage. I just like the way that he's playing that dual quarterback thing. And I love that defense. I really, really do. And that, like I said, that crowd's going to be loud, and it's going to make it really, really, really hard on Arnold to really keep himself clean in that game.
So, Sarah.
Oh, yeah. I'm picking Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
I'm picking Oklahoma, and I'm picking Oklahoma probably by at least a touchdown, possibly 2, because I think that if they get the lead early, I don't think they're going to lose it.
Hey, this is what we separate this week, Sarah, because we're tied right now. But I want them Auburn Tigers to cook, man.
I mean, it'd be nice.
Arnold Jackson listen, he's a transfer. Guess where Arnold Jackson played college football at first? The University of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Oh, this is get back. This is get back. This is total get back for him. He's got the team to do it. I love the play of the linebackers and Atkins, Crawford, and Woodward. Those 3 kids are out there playing. And when I'm talking about they floated the ball, they line up in a traditional 4-3, but what they do is sneaky. They switch to a 3-4, walk a safety down. They play mind games with the quarterback. And I don't think that Matter saw that when he played against Michigan. But Auburn has that, and Auburn has athletes. They have super athletes. Give me the freaking Auburn Tigers, Sarah. And matter of fact, I'm talking about they going into Norman, and they're going to pop that. They're going to handle their business in Norman, Oklahoma. Give me Auburn 31-20. Auburn Tigers for the dub, Sarah. For the dub. And separate. Now I could look foul. I could lose, but I think this the week I separate a little bit, Sarah. All right. Next on the slate, we got the diabolical Michigan Wolverines that we saw. Oklahoma beat the hell out of them against a 3-0 logo above my head. Nebraska Cornhuskers that's got a quarterback, that's got a hell of a coach in Matt Rule. Sarah, Nebraska versus Michigan. What's cracking?
I mean, this is going to be, after watching Underwood go to Norman and with that crowd and everything like that, he's going into another very, very hostile away game. This is going to be very loud. Again, this is a fan base that hasn't seen their team win in a very long time. And I think they're starting to finally believe in it. I mean, there's the rule is that, his 3rd year, he finally gets everything together and he finally has built his culture. I mean, he was yelling at his team when they were up by however many points last week.
That's facts. Yeah.
So, he's definitely in it to win it. I love that about him. I've actually always liked him. I know that he can be a little bit iffy sometimes, but I like the way that he coaches. I like the way that he has motivated this team. And I like the way that he's building up Raiola. He's his first year, he was I wasn't expecting what everyone else thought that this kid was going to do. He isn't Patrick Mahomes, but he can be as good as he wants to be. And, he's gotten a lot better. His throwing ability's gotten a lot better. His accuracy's gotten a lot better. He's not throwing those balls into massive amounts of coverage like he was last year. He was trying to make that big throw every single time, and you could tell that he wasn't really looking out on the whole field. He wasn't paying attention to where everything was. He just was trying to go with, this will make the biggest splash. Well, no, bud, that's not how we play football anymore. You can't do that anymore. So I really like it. I think that it's going to be a closer game. I think that this is really a good test for Nebraska in the Big Ten. And I think this is a really good test for Michigan right now. I think that, Underwood, I think is going to be a guy. I really, really do. I really like him. I think that he's looking really, really good. But again, these young quarterbacks going into these very, very hostile fan bases, it's hard because you can't get your rhythm together because you have to deal with all of that extra noise. And these stadiums can be really, really noisy. I want to see him succeed in it. So I hope that he can really, really play a clean, good game. I wish I could, I want to pick Michigan just because of the fact that I think that this is going to pretty much make or break what's going to happen for the rest of the year. But I really, like I said, I really like this Nebraska team. I really like Matt Rule. I think that he is just really trying to build on each year. And if he can win this game, they can really, really be a competitor in the Big Ten. They're not going to beat Ohio State. They're not going to beat Oregon or Penn State. But to be even in a form of that conversation in the next couple years, I think would be really great. So I think that they're going to win, but I think it's going to be like a field goal.
Yeah. Yeah. Sarah, I'm with you on this. I think that this is the game where Nebraska steps up and they're able to be counted as one of the top boys. I mean, we know Penn State, Oregon, and Ohio State is the cream of the crop. We know Michigan 2 years ago they're trying to fight their way back to be up there. We know that Illinois is saying, no, look out, Nebraska, it's us. But Matt Rule is a hell of a coach, man. And Dylan Raiola, his improvement from year 1 as the starter to year 2 as the starter is outstanding.
Huge.
Right. Now, this is the thing that scares me. I'm not sold on Nebraska's defense. I saw Nebraska's defense get gashed. And one thing that Michigan can do is Michigan can run the football.
Yeah. No, I
Justice
agree.
Hayes and Matthews can run the football. But for all those Michigan fans out there that was last week, we solved our vertical passing game. Look what Underwood was doing, and we won 59-3 against the Cripples Boys School of the Blind. Central, a team that's only going to win 3, maybe 2 games all year, 59-3. So what? Do it against somebody where it really counts. So we're going to find out this week because guess what else Nebraska's got? I might not be sold on their front 7, but I'm sure sold on their back 4. Nebraska's got DBs. Nebraska's got 2 kids that's going to play at the NFL level. 2 of them. So I'm sold on the defensive backs. I think Nebraska blows Michigan out. Give me Nebraska 31, Michigan 17. And Michigan scores late to get 17. They're the real deal. Listen, Dylan Raiola's the real deal. He's the real deal, y'all. Sarah, you talking about a quarterback going to play at the next level. He's going to play at the next level. All right. Last game of the preview before we do our sneaky pick of the week. Sarah, we got another Big Ten matchup, and I think this is the game of the week. The Indiana Hoosiers play against the Illinois Fighting Illini, whatever the hell you want to call them. They're the Illini. And I'm gonna preface this. Illinois makes it through Indiana. They got 1 game they're circling their schedule with, and that's the Ohio State Buckeyes. Illinois is already a top 10 ranked team. They're already ranked in the top 10, Sarah.
Oh, I know.
But Indiana is the team that Illinois was last year. So they got 2 of these teams that's saying, look, wait a minute now. Y'all talking Nebraska, Michigan, all whatever else. We're still should be counted in the upper echelon. So, Sarah, talk to me about your preview this week between Indiana and Illinois.
I mean, I was really impressed with Illinois. It wasn't last week. What was the game? Sorry, I'm trying to put everything together.
All right.
When they played against Duke, like I thought Duke had a team and Illinois just completely crushed them. I really like this Altmaier. I think that they're definitely, they've built this team. They are definitely looking to try to be, again, they're trying to be like Nebraska. Like these teams are really trying to compete with those top echelon Big Ten teams. And these are the teams that are doing it the right way. They are just really like good coaching, good quarterback play, getting some really good running backs. And they have a wide receiver that seems to be blowing up on Illinois, who I'm really, really excited to watch this week. I think Indiana needs a little bit more time. I just think that they really need to get a quarterback and recruit a quarterback and really build on that. I mean, they're just bringing in these transfer guys every single year, and that's going to work for a while. But in the end, until you really get your recruiting in, I think that you are still going to have to really, really battle in the end against those teams that have been able to recruit well and keep them.
Yeah.
So I like Indiana. I think that, they definitely have built on that team a lot from last year, but I think Altmaier's out for a big game. I think that he wants to show people that he is the real deal. But like I said, I really like who he's throwing to. I I mean, Mendoza's playing well. I think that, they're definitely good. I think it's going to be a little bit more of an offensive battle. It's going to be on which defense can actually put some stops in there. They both have some guys on that end, but I think that Illinois just has a little bit more edge to them right now this year than Indiana.
Yeah. Mendoza, he tends to look good against teams he's not supposed to look good. And for all y'all that don't know, Mendoza is the starting quarterback for University of Indiana. He has a tendency to. But Fallmeyer, the quarterback in Illinois, Sarah, I think he's an NFL quarterback. I mean, people said, no. I'm not saying a day one first-round draft pick, but a legitimate – he's better than Spencer Rattler. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. He's better than Spencer. Spencer Rattler starts in the NFL.
Yes, he does.
Right. So he's better than he's better than Spencer Rattler. So he can play at the NFL. He's better than Matt Jones. Matt Jones lit it up for the 49ers. Lit it up through 40 freaking passes, 39 passes. He better than him. So yeah, Illinois has a legitimate team. But what I love about Illinois is they coach. When Bo Pelini gets the momentum going, he's hard to beat. And Ohio State hates Bo Pelini. And Bo Pelini hates Ohio State. He hates them. So I think this is the first time, and I'm going to be honest, this is the first time that I think Illinois is an actual contender since Juice Williams was the quarterback at Illinois. When Juice was the quarterback, I thought Illinois could win the whole damn thing. Now, they fell short, a game short, and they went out to the Rose Bowl and got beat down. But back then, Illinois squad, yeah, Illinois is back, Sarah. So you taking
I'm taking Illinois. Yeah.
I'm taking Illinois to crush them. I think that they're going to play this game the way they need to, but they're looking at that October game against Ohio State and they've circled it. And they realize and know if they can beat them, maybe they're the best team in the Big Ten. Because there's nothing left after that. They don't play Penn State. They don't play Michigan. They don't play Oregon. Yeah, there's nothing left. These next two games, do what you got to do. Yeah, you're right. Juice was 2008. The Illinois was some dogs. They were some dogs. Juice Williams was a killer. So, and they beat Ohio State like they stole something. So, but this Illinois team is the real deal. Look for Illinois to win big against the University of Indiana. 31-21, Illinois. A lot of points scored in this game. A lot of offense.
Oh.
Yeah. Sarah, the diabolical sneaky game of the week. Who you got? Who's your game?
Well, I was kind of looking at two because but it's hard to really get excited for either of them because one team just looks so good. And this 4 weeks ago, I thought this was going to be a game. I went with Missouri versus South Carolina because I kind of want to see what South Carolina is going to do. Is Sellers healthy? Are they going to bounce back? And then again, just because last year, because, I never truly had all of the faith in the world of Missouri and then just kept staying ranked and they kept staying ranked. But I really like them this year. I think that Bo Prabula is really, really showing out. I think that they have gotten a lot better this year. So I kind of want to see if this is going to be the death of South Carolina and the resurrection and build up of Missouri, or if it's just the same old, same old. So that's kind of where I'm at with that game. So I think Missouri is going to pull it off. I think that they just have the better team. Right now they have the better quarterback because I'll be shocked if Sellers is playing because with a hit like that, I don't want him out there that quick. But the other game I was going with was the Miami-Florida game. 4 weeks ago, I thought that would have been exciting. Now, I don't know. I think Miami's just going to pretty much crush them.
Carson Beck is actually, like we said earlier, Carson Beck trying to make a name for himself, Sarah.
Yeah, he is. Because this is it. This is his swan song. And after last year when he was supposed to be great and he didn't look comfortable. And I think he looks so much more comfortable in Miami. I love the fact that team has just rallied up behind him. There's a lot of trust in him this year, and I think that he didn't have that last year.
Tay-Boy Fresh said Rob Lightfoot is going home after this game. South Carolina, bye-bye. Shoot you the deuces, man. What's up, Mr. Woodside, man? In the building, man. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you jumping into the Level Up College Football Podcast. Sarah, my sneaky game of the week is the USC Trojans and the Michigan State Spartans. Y'all, let me tell y'all something, man. I'm throwing accolades around. Childs, the quarterback at Michigan State, could possibly be the best quarterback in the Big Ten. That kid can play football, man. When he did what he did against Boston College, I was like, oh, they got one. And Michigan State ain't had a quarterback in God knows how long. I'm talking about, hell, Tony Banks. I mean, it's been that long since Michigan State had a quarterback. So he can throw the ball vertically. He's mobile. But the thing about him, Sarah, he's got them willing to win.
Yeah.
You know, he's got them charged up. The fan base is charged up. The coaches believe in him. And I don't care what anybody says. When the quarterback knows that he's the one, it's contagious. And Michigan State is one of those teams that it gets contagious, right? The years that you don't pick them to do anything, you look up, they're 6-0, 7-0, and you're like, man, how in the hell? Oh, because they got a leader. They got a leader. Now, I know people going to say, well, Kirk Cousins and all. Kirk Cousins was big trash at Michigan State. He won one little Big Ten championship, and they thought he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Get him out of here. I'm talking about this Childs kid. This kid is a big-time NFL player to be, and he's only a sophomore. But you know how Lincoln Riley do, Sarah. You know how he do. He drives me up the wall, too, because every year you count him out, he's got a team that can score 50.
Yep.
Right? Now, they ain't fixed the defense, but I think they're going to go up and down the field, back and forth. That Michigan State USC game, if you have time and you set your channels and you flip through your channels, or if you got YouTube TV, you know you can get out like that. Set your 5 screens and watch it, but you want to watch the Michigan State USC football game this weekend. I think it's going to be a good game, and I think Michigan State might try to say, hey, not so fast, my friend. We're moving up to the echelon too. And it could be that all them California teams ain't ready. It could be USC ain't ready, UCLA ain't ready. But you know how it is, Sarah.
I don't think Riley will have a job if they continue down this path of not winning.
Oh, canned?
I mean, if this doesn't happen this year, and he doesn't win again, like it's not looking good. Every year you think it's going to finally get better, and it just doesn't because they aren't. They're not building this defense. Look at what the heck they did to poor Caleb Williams this last year. That was bad.
Yeah. Facts. And look how diabolical he look in the pros, but that's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother show. 0-2 Big Trash Bears.
Well,
shout out to my son-in-law. Sarah, they brought in 3 brand new.
I know, and they still can't do shit.
Yeah, they trash.
And now they're down with Jalen, so.
Yeah, facts. All right. So, Sarah, we come to the end of the show, the end of the Level Up College Football Podcast. Your closing thoughts or parting shots as we close out this edition of the show.
I mean, I think I agree. Like this week is some really interesting games. It's going to kind of break a couple teams apart. These 3-0 teams that are kind of on the precipice of possibly getting ranked. I can't wait for week 5. I can't wait to finally like watch a Penn State game that's actually going to freaking matter. Is my biggest thing. Them and Oregon, like none of their games have meant anything because they're not playing anybody. And at least, a lot of these other teams at least had one game in their 3-game series where they've played at least one team that's in an FBS conference and is worth being an opponent. But so I can't wait for week 5. I'm excited though for some of these games this week, and I think it's going to break apart a couple of these teams and whether or not they can actually be contenders coming up into the future.
I'm with it. Hey, once again, thank you guys for helping us get to 1K. It's a congratulatory moment. We've reached our initial goal on the YouTube channel, and we couldn't have done it with all you guys. I promise you, the content is going to keep going up and up and up. Wherever you find you want your sports content, you can come and get the college football viewpoint on Mondays with me and Sarah C. You can swing back over here on Tuesdays. Check me out on the Keeping It 100 podcast and the preview, by the way, this week. Is it time for Mike Tomlin to leave the Pittsburgh Steelers? Now, we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it at the Keeping It 100. Be back on Wednesday with my boy Tate and his Take of Integrity. He does an outstanding job with his production. And we're going to talk a little smash the gas football with the diabolical Kirby and our boy, the Triple OG Shannon White, over there with the Pump Your Brakes podcast that can be broadcasted on the KnoItAllz. Friday, you can come back in, check out Take Boy Fresh with the homies Payday and B-Dirt, big time show. Thursday, can't forget, we got the Pick'em show every week. Guess who's in the lead right now, ladies and gentlemen? I ain't talking all that craziness, but brother out there right now. So we're winning it, and then we'll be back, and you're going to see content that's just not only live shows. We're going to do one-off segues. We got a segue coming out today that's going to talk about who's your Mount Rushmore of boxing at all time, just based on what Bud Crawford did over the weekend. That's going to be but it's going to be a show that you can watch in syndication on the KnoItAllz podcast. And of course, every Sunday you can catch us on the Level Up podcast. So as for my girl, Sarah C., me, Big G, thank you again for supporting the Level Up College Football Podcast, and we can't wait to see you guys next week. We'll holla at you. Peace.